Adonainu, Moreno, ורבינו, המשיח, לעולם. Welcome to the summary of the Dvar Malchus from Shabbos, Parshas B'har-B'chukosai, Tafshin Aleph. The Rebbe Moshiach Shlit starts off that we're standing the Shabbos, that's giving a blessing, Mevarchim, Rosh Chodesh Sivan, which the uniqueness of the first day of Sivan is that's when the Jewish people came to the desert of Sinai, Midbar Sinai, and that's when Moshe started getting the Jews ready to receive the Torah. Like we see that before Shavuos, the custom we always read the parsha before, read the Shabbos of B'midbar. The parsha of the Midbar speaks about the desert of Sinai. Asked Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, seemingly, why is there a connection between Midbar Sinai and giving a Torah? Seemingly, Hashem did not make the Torah belong to nobody, give it away, make it hefker. Rather, the Torah was given to the Jewish people. So why are we emphasizing this, that we giving of a Torah? This we came to a desert which belongs to nobody. On the other hand, even if we want to say that the idea of a desert which belongs to nobody is expressing a idea of Torah, why do we read B'midbar? It speaks about the desert of Sinai close to Shavuos when we receive the Torah, and not before Rosh Chodesh Sivan, before the day the Jewish people came to Midbar Sinai. On the other hand, Shabbos before Rosh Chodesh, Parshas B'har-B'chukosai, that parsha we should have read closer to Matan Torah. Why? The name of the parsha, B'har, seeing the mount of Sinai, is supposed to be closer to Shavuos. And also B'chukosai means little. The simple translation means the laws, but the Chassidus explains that also means the idea of engravement, just like the words in the tablets and the luchos that Moshe gave were engraved, so the Torah has to be engraved, and also in the contents of the parsha itself, it speaks about Shemitah, that just like Shemitah was given by Mount Sinai, so all the laws are given by Mount Sinai. In other words, the Parshas of B'har-B'chukosai have very much connection with the giving of a Torah. So why to read them before Rosh Chodesh Sivan? We should have read them up close to Shavuos. So the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit first explains the whole idea of the Torah accomplishing in the world, like it says in the pasuk, Asara Hakaf, 10. There's twice 10 because there's twice 10. What is it twice 10? The first time 10 is the 10 sayings which with Hashem creates the world. And the second 10 is the 10 commandments. And what's the connection? And through this Jew who learns Torah, he's involved with the 10 commandments. He reveals the 10 sayings. Hashem is the one that creates the world every second anew. And we see this idea also in the Pirkei Avos of this week. Pirkei Avos, it says that Hashem created the world with 10 commandments. And seemingly Hashem created with one commandment, rather to add in the reward for the righteous people. They have more reward because now they are behaving good they're fulfilling a world that's worth 10 commandments, and to punish the wicked men even more because it's a more important world. They're doing it's more harsh what they're doing. Asked the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, what's the difference? How many things you're going to put? If you're able to create a world with one saying, it's worth one saying. It doesn't matter if you're making it in 10 or 20. It's still worth one. That's what it's worth. Explains the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, Hashem actually, when He creates the world, are both. There's the idea of Hashem how is one saying. And the idea of 10 saying. What's the idea of Hashem one saying? Hashem says one saying, Ma'amer Echad, that is creating the chaymer, creating the material, creating the being of the world. Now we're talking here not from physical creation, rather even spiritual existences. The being, the first thing, Hashem creates a being, and that's the Ma'amer Echad, that's the one saying. 10 commandments, the 10 sayings are more Hashem creating not only the details and every single one of the creations have its uniqueness, how its qualities and its advantages, etc. And what's the difference between its two ways of Hashem creating the world? And the one saying in the Ma'amer Echad, because it's Hashem creates the world, so it is an entity. What's recognized here is not so much the world, rather that Hashem has the power to create. When Hashem, in the 10 sayings, where Hashem is giving importance and advantage and quality to every single one of the creations, that is giving importance to the world. Over there, what's more important is the world. So to in Torah, it says, Achaz Dibur Lekim, Shtayim D'Shemot, you have a Torah how it's one, how it's which reveals the Torah is one from Hashem, like we have a blessing, we make a bracha before in Torah, because the Torah is one with Hashem. That reveals how the Maimer Echad, Hashem creates the being of every single thing in the world. And you have when Torah comes down, the Shtaim B'Shemoti comes down, and so it'll be understood and translated, etc., etc. To that reveal how Hashem creates also all the details of all different qualities of the world. And why do you need both? Also, the Maimer Echad and the Sadar Amaris. Why do you need both levels? Because the advantage of the higher level of Maimer Echad, of how Achaz Dibelikim, how it comes from above. So the great advantage, it comes from above. However, what is the disadvantage? That it's not connected coming down to this world. The advantage of the 10 commandments and 10 things is relevant to the world. However, it doesn't have the great revelation of the coming from above. Therefore, the completion is to have both of them together. And this idea also we see the whole point of Matan Torah, that when Jews left Mitzrayim, Hashem's essence was revealed. The whole reason why we're coming to Matan Torah is by Matan Torah, Hashem was revealed. Hashem said to every single Jew, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, and the week says Sfer Sa'imer, the whole Aveda is to draw down the 50th level, to draw down the highest levels down here. In other words, same idea of the 10 commandments and the 10 sayings and the etc. That same idea at the time of this year. And what happens, however, when it comes to Rosh Chodesh Sivan? Rosh Chodesh Sivan already finished most of the Sfer Sa'imer. Even the last week already finished most of them, and therefore it's considered as if we already finished drawing down the highest levels down here into this world. And these ideas are emphasized in the parshas that we're reading. First, read the Parshas B'har. B'har is a mountain. A mountain means it's dirt, it's dust. One hand. On the other hand, it's a mountain, its shape, its existence. That shows the soul's in existence. It's not 100% nullified to Hashem. Then it comes B'chukosai. What's the B'chukosai? And the B'chukosai is the idea of engravement, completely nullified to Hashem. When we connect B'har and B'chukosai, that the bittul to Hashem should draw down into the existence. And also in B'har itself, we have the idea of V'hisalachta, going up, where you have two ways of going up and going down. And the point is to connect them both. Then we come to Bar Midbar. What's Bar Midbar? Midbar is the idea of saying. However, in saying, there's two ways of expressing the word. Midbar means that the person is important, that I am saying. Or I can have midbar, that I'm made said. They're making me say. I'm just saying over. And what the first one is that I'm important. It shows in my entity. The second one shows I'm nullified. How could you connect both? Through a third level of midbar, idea of a desert. A desert. It says, La Yeshav Adam Sham. No one can live there. No being can live there. Why? Because it's revealed Hashem's essence is higher than everything. And Hashem's essence is higher than everything. Has the power to connect them both. And according to this, we can explain why the Torah was given not in a public domain, in a Shus HaRabim place that belongs to everybody, rather in a desert. Why? Because we're talking about drawing the levels of Torah that's not as relevant to everybody, rather that's higher than everything. Therefore, Torah is given in a place that belongs to nobody. And that's why we brought that afterwards. There should be the idea of Yichan Shorishal, to bring the idea of unity, because once we're revealing this high level of Torah that's higher than the world, that brings the idea of between unity to all the Jewish people. And then you come afterwards to Parshas B'har-B'chukosai, also in the Chumash HaPekudim, the book of Numbers. What's the day of Numbers? On one hand, every single one of the numbers is important. On the other hand, they're all nullified altogether. And so also over here we see the connection of both aspects. And what's the idea from all this? Says Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit, that we have to go into shuls and to gather together on Shabbos and speak about Torah. And also, second thing is to arouse the idea of reading 10 commandments in every single place. That all the children should come. And through this, also you have both aspects. On one hand, every single child is important. Everyone should come. On the other hand, they should come all together and be all fight together. And you're also that through the decision to add in the unity in the Jewish people, which the whole cause of the destruction of the Holy Temple was because there was sinas chem. There wasn't the idea of Israel. However, through adding an Av Yisrael, we're nullifying the region of Galus, and through this, you'll merit. It says in the beginning of this week's parsha that the land will give its fruit and the trees will give fruit. That it doesn't in times of Mashiach, even trees that usually do not give fruit will give fruit. And will come afterwards to the book of Numbers. They have Kudim that Hashem will count every single yid, and in times of Mashiach will count us for the 10th time. and together with the 10th part of Aduma, which like the Rambam writes, the 10th part of Aduma, Mashiach will make, and very soon he'll be revealed. And in continuation to all this, we'll come to the day of Shavuos. We'll already be in Eretz HaKodesh, in the Beis Hamikdash, or the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and the Luchos over there. And I have a Torah for Mashiach, and Mashiach himself will teach every single Yid, and he won't teach in a way of teaching, rather he will teach in a way of seeing. And all this should be taken from Miyad Mamush. Yechia Adonenu, ורבינו, Melech HaMashiach, לעולם.